Subscribe and click the bell icon for the latest updates and notifications from the Indian Express.
So today is the third day of the ICC Cricket World Cup, and there's a double header today. New Zealand versus Sri Lanka at Cardiff.
Yeah.
And the late game is Australia versus Afghanistan at Bristol. And Vishal here is a huge fan of New Zealand. I am saying that even if you put 11 sheep in New Zealand clothing and send them out to play cricket, he'll support them. But Vishal, on a serious note, how do you look at New Zealand's chances?
They are a very good team, but compared to 2015, maybe you can say they don't lack that explosive quality of the 2015 team under Brendan McCullum. But under Kane Williamson, they still have a team that can, surprise and topple some of the better teams in the competition. And I won't be surprised if they can at least make it to the last four. I mean, they have the batting, they have the bowling as well in terms of as far as the fast bowlers are concerned, they got Bolt and Saudi. They got as far as the backup is concerned, they've got the all-rounders in Jimmy Neesham and Colin de Grandhomme, and the spinners also to back them up like Santner, left-arm spinner Mitchell Santner. So bowling is pretty well taken care of. So is the batting. I think it's just about gelling together as a team, and if they can do that, I think nothing can stop them from at least reaching the last four. And from there we'll see.
So it's interesting you say that you are sure they'll reach the last four, because
they should. I think
this is something which we New Zealand fans and those who love New Zealand cricket keep saying right through from the start of the World Cup. And the fact is that they've reached 6 semi-finals and one final.
Yeah. And that momentous choke at the MCG in 2015.
So just talking about choke, I know everyone says South Africa are the chokers. But I have a slightly contrarian view saying that New Zealand are also chokers, because people say that they don't have the firepower, they don't have the big stars. But the fact that they've reached 6 semi-finals and reached only one final, and in the final they go and bomb, and the biggest star, McCullum, goes and charges Mitchell Starc. It's more or less a brain fade, and then the whole batting collapse.
A lot of things have been written, a lot of things have been said, but I think it's just bad luck, I would say. Like, just the sense of the occasion got to them, I think, 2015. But again, that is past. I think 2019, this is a new format. It's similar to the 92 format, like each team plays each other once. And
so it gives each team a better chance.
So even if like New Zealand don't make headway in the first 3 or 4 matches, I think 3 matches at least, they still have the time to regroup and come back strongly. So I don't think 2015 should be talked so much. I mean, it's done, it's gone. They couldn't win the final, so be it. But I think historically speaking, I think New Zealand have always done well in ICC tournaments, especially in England. 99 last time when they played, they played outstandingly. They finished number 4 spot in the semi-final. So I think this team has it in them, frankly speaking. Okay, I mean, on paper they don't they are not as explosive as 2015. Like 2015, I thought they were the overwhelming favourites. But this time, I think they are not the overwhelming favourites. I would say overwhelming favourites would be, say, England, West Indies, Australia, and India. These are my 4 teams on paper that look like favourites to reach the semi-finals. But if they can perform as a team, New Zealand, I think they can topple even the best.
Okay.
And sitting today, I think Kane Williamson would be a happy man to have Sri Lanka as the first opponent in this World Cup. I think on paper, Sri Lanka are the weakest team in this tournament, and I think.
We are putting Sri Lanka lower than Afghanistan.
Yes. On the given day, I think Afghanistan can even topple them.
We're not going to have too many fans from Sri Lanka.
But just look at the team. I mean,
Sri Lanka has been in a bit of a disarray. Like, when was the last time you heard of a Sri Lankan captain being pulled up for drunk driving?
Exactly.
It's something
it's unheard of.
A bar fight is usually something which happens between Australian and English players.
Correct.
And here we have somebody like Dimuth Karunaratne, such a correct, solid batsman caught for drunk driving. And then I think reports what I have read is that Malinga doesn't get along with some senior players. The coach and Angelo Matthews have fallen out. And
Matthews has not done anything of late, right? He's been battling injury, battling form. He was this guy who was people thought in Sri Lanka he would be the guy who will step up in the once Jayawardene and Sangakkara leaves the fold. But then since those two, the big two, retired, he's not been able to step up. take his game up by like a couple of notches.
And
like,
in Sri Lanka, it's also a bit about man management. More than man management of the players, it's also how you deal with the sports ministry and the politicians, because they sort
Correct.
run the board.
Run the board.
And recently, Mahila Jayawardene said that he's
not
disappointed
interested,
with Matthews because he didn't stand up for the players.
Yeah, correct.
So yeah, in short, we are talking about a team in disarray.
Absolute disarray.
And
And
New Zealand should be favourites in this game.
And I think Kane Williamson and his team will be comfortable seeing them as a first opposition. You know, it's very like in a top in the crunch ICC game, like in ICC tournament like this. It's important to just win that first game, and just that gives you that morale going into the tournament. So I think they'll consider themselves to be very lucky to have Sri Lanka as the first opponents.
So and what about the second game, Australia Afghanistan?
I think first day and night game of the 2019 ICC.
It's an interesting matchup because
yes.
it should be. We have Afghanistan as a team of quality spinners. And Australia.
And this Australian team, they have not faced Afghanistan in an ODI. This set of players, Australian team, have never played Afghanistan in an ODI match. So that is also a bit of
talking about
intrigue to the
talking about the Australians. Just the other day during the warm-up game at Southampton, the ball tampering scandal is set to haunt them, especially when they're going to play the sandpaper scandal in
Englishmen
England.
will rub it in. They'll see to it that they rub it in.
I don't know whether you saw it that day. There was a fan who dressed up as a ball and was throwing sandpapers at Australian players.
But despite that, he went and scored. Steve Smith scored a century. This guy was also batting well, Warner.
So Smith and Warner, you would say, is if they perform well, and that would be the key, because they are the two huge batsmen with so much experience. But
and
also
that gives them the more heft in the tournament. Like without them, they were altogether demoralized unit. We saw that last year against India. But now the return of these two guys have just kind of like galvanized this team.
But they are bound to get a little stick from the crowd and from on the players. You think they are thick-skinned enough to handle?
Yeah, they are thick-skinned enough. I don't think that's going to make much of an impact, frankly speaking. They'll just concentrate on their game, and it's a World Cup. These two guys have been extremely hungry. They're 12 months away from the game. I think it's taught them a lot of things, and it's put things into perspective about what they want to do in life, how they want to go about with their game. And these things, I think, these are minor issues. I think neither of them are going to have any problems, and they won't be even concerned about it, frankly speaking. And it's the batting that will top.
And do you think the batting will be able to sort out the Afghanistan spinners? You were telling me the interesting story about Zampa. Why don't you just go ahead and say what happened actually?
Yeah, actually it was during on the sidelines of a BBL game in January this year. I think on the in Melbourne. I think Zampa plays for Melbourne Stars in the Big Bash. And Rashid Khan, very popular Afghan face. I think arguably the most recognizable Afghan face.
And the world's best all-rounder.
World's best T20 and ODI limited overs spinner. He plays for Adelaide Strikers. So this guy was very intrigued.
So Zampa basically went and got some tips from
yes. Basically how he
Rashid on how to bowl.
How he bowls, how he gets the kind of success that he gets. And Rashid obviously is a very different bowler to Zampa. Zampa is a more traditional kind of a bowler. This guy holds a ball in a different way. He has got almost like Shahid Afridi kind of a run up.
You sort of spoke to Rashid during the IPL. So what is it that makes him different? Can you just briefly sum it up when it comes to
I think the
bowling?
first thing that he told me was his hands. He's got this youth, and first thing that once you meet Rashid Khan, the first thing that strikes in his physically are his hands. He's a big hands. He's not very tall, but he's got big hands, thick fingers.
So how does that help?
And that helps him grip the ball. He doesn't grip the ball in the usual way. He has this one grip with which he bowls a leg spin as well as a googly.
So it's difficult to...
So for a batsman, it's very difficult to pick what he's bowling. Like generally a leg spinner, like even Zampa or anybody, they hold the ball close to their palm.
Okay.
But this guy, unusual grip, and it holds almost like the tip of the fingers.
So it's difficult to pick.
It's difficult for a batsman to pick whether he's bowling a googly, whether he's bowling a traditional.
And his action is also very
action
fast.
is also so VP and quick arm.
And
so
Zampa did something cheeky, I was told. You were telling me that he went and
emulated his action after that discussion. He had a 1 hour discussion.
Picking Rashid's brain.
And he just couldn't. Ball kept slipping out of his hands.
But he told the Australian batsman how to play.
But yeah, and he narrated, shared those tips. I think that is going to help them in a bit of a way. But having said that, I think most of these Australian batsmen in this current team, they have faced Rashid Khan in IPL as well as the Big Bash. So I don't think he'll be much of a mystery. to either of them.
So,
but
so
still,
tomorrow,
I think
tomorrow's about how
he'll
they
be that X
how
factor.
they play Rashid Khan.
Not only Rashid, it will be interesting to see if they pick Mujib. Nabi will be there. I think he's a middle order batsman. He's an all-rounder in the team. He'll be batting at 4-5 plus. He'll be that off spinner. So my guess is Nabi and Rashid will be the automatic picks. But will Mujib, the third spinner, will they play him depending on the conditions what we have at Bristol? That is for the Afghanistan team to management to take.
Okay. So
So
interesting points all
exactly,
these, Vishal.
yeah.
So let's see how it goes tomorrow,
Correct.
and hopefully New Zealand will
Hopefully,
get across
hopefully.
Sri Lanka.
Yeah.